Hi, everyone. Hopefully, you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today, we're going to go into our daily technical analysis update of commodities. We're going to work our way through the dollar yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. If you need any help, definitely hop over to finding-value.com. We do have a discount going on called Happy Birthday. My birthday is coming up very soon, and you can get a discount from it for the first month, 50% off. All right, guys, let's see what's going on in the markets today. I'll give you my financial opinions and we'll dive right into it right now. So we've got the DXY. This is what my guess of what it's going to do. We've got a good, strong impulse move lower. We're either going to kind of come up like this and roll over, or we're going to continue to roll over. Those are the options that I see in the short term. And what we're going to be looking for is what kind of strength does this move upward have? If it just sells off, there's no strength at all. It is weak. If it comes on up and we get a couple of up candlesticks, and then it's going to probably get a small little guy with a wick at the top, it'll look something like that. It'll roll over and go back lower. So it'll be a contraction of the candlesticks going up of the opening and closing prices. This is the opening price, the closing price, and it went down that candlestick. So we're going to see it probably go back up. We'll see a little bit of a bounce, and then we'll see it probably roll over and go back lower. That's my guess. Yields up today. We're strong on the 2-year yield. That does look like we could go up for a little bit. What we're looking for is how strong is this follow through going to be for next week? And are we going to come up and then roll back over? We'll have to find out. We'll have to see what it looks like. So strong bounce in the 2-year yield. The 10-year yield is bouncing on support. Like I said, we've got this support here. We're bouncing on it, and what we're going to do is we're going to evaluate what comes next. If we come up, we get a little bit of candlesticks. They get smaller and smaller. We get a wick at the top. It's going to come back down. And if we break through that support level, then we got lower yields coming. If we rocket launch here, we get big fat candlestick like this guy, and then we get another big candlestick. Like this could go higher then. So again, we're waiting to see what the bounce looks like and seeing confluence with the dollar. TYX up a little bit. To me, it looks like, I don't know, TYX looks kind of strong, but we've got support underneath us on the 10-year as well. We're gonna have to wait and see. Let's wait and see. I mean, this could even be a bigger picture view of kind of the head and shoulders pattern, Batman pattern, but it would have blown out there. It didn't blow out, it went up. So we'll see where it heads here in the short term. TYX, TMX down a little bit. That's a headwind on the day for precious metals. Bond price is heading a little bit lower. We've had kind of a monster run here the past 4 days, so it's kind of normal to have a pullback at some point, which we're getting today. Gold slightly lower, but I still think gold looks absolutely fantastic. This is the big picture view, guys. So what you want to see is you want to see a trend line break. And this is kind of your trend line break right here. We broke out. There it is. We broke out there. Let me go back in. So we broke out here, came up, pulled back to do a retest move, and we punched through that one as well. I think this looks fantastic to move higher for gold. Looks very strong. Silver also looking very strong. We didn't even get a bloody nose out of this thing. It was probably going to be a down day, profit taking day, but it still went higher. I think this looks really good on a longer term perspective. We're breaking out of this trend line here. And if we can get up on here, hold above it, we've got our lows stepping up into it. I mean, everything looks good, guys. This could roll. Platinum also still holding together. What we'd like to do is break this trend line here, rip through that thing, but it's still looking good for platinum. XEU to gold ratio, we had a little bit of a down day. Not really a monster selling pressure day today. I still think it looks good. And then we want to break through this trend line here. That is what we want to break. We break that, and all hell breaks loose, guys. Like we're probably going to see a big move higher in gold and silver mining companies. Now, when I say a big move higher, I do not mean that we get a candlestick that looks like that. Okay, not just one big candlestick that outperforms. If the gold and silver mining, gold and silver mining companies are going to outperform gold by 400 or 500 times in like 30 days. That's not what I mean. What I mean is it's going to break up above it. We may even pull back and we'll grind and work our way on up. Just similar to the way that we fell on this downward move. So we'd like to break above that area there, get above all that garbage, and start working our way up. CRB index still looking good to move on higher. I mean, it's looking strong. We'll see if it continues. And we're kind of bumping out of the trend line there. CRB S&P 500 still in this downtrend where the S&P is still looking good. But I think we're going to bottom at some point, and then we'll be off to the races. GDX down a little bit on the day today. Everything still looks good. It's just kind of like one of those little bloody noses. I still think the momentum's to the upside, and that goes along for all these. They're all exactly the same. SILJ, GDX, GDXJ, they all look pretty good. Now, it doesn't mean we can't pull back a little bit. I mean, it's possible, but it's what I mean is it looks like we are going to grind our way on up. Crude oil selling a little bit more strongly today. This is a bearish engulfing pattern that does look like we could head lower in the short term. But what do we always do, guys? Everyone knows this who's been watching this channel for a while. We break out. We do usually a return move of some sort, and we'll end up somewhere in this region here, wherever it is, and we turn and go on higher. So I'm just waiting for that to pull back one last time and buy the crap out of it. And that's literally what it is. Natural gas down a little bit today. It's still looking all right. We're just basing out. Let it be. One thing you could look at is you kind of put a support line here. I'm just doing it on the tops of all these hits. A couple of hits here, a couple of hits here. Then we're hitting it on the bottom here. So we're right on support where we could go higher for nat gas. So we'll see what happens there. XOP selling off a little bit with the price of crude oil. If we get a back test, this could even come back down a little bit further. OIH also, you're getting a little bit of a sell-off today, but not very big. We're right at resistance. You can see all the resistance over here. We're going to get a little bit of resistance there, and we could pause a little bit. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust, a little bit more selling pressure here today. Does look like we could head lower in the short term for maybe a little bit. URA also selling off. It looks like we could go down in the short term. Now, do I trade these short-term movements? No, I don't. I'm in it to win it. I'm just going to hold on. URNM down a little bit right on that resistance line that we've got drawn in, so it could pull back a little bit further. This is a bearish engulfing pattern that generally results in the downside. URNJ also heading a little bit lower today, and we could head a little bit lower, maybe back to support at 1630-ish. TAN, a little bit lower, doesn't look horrible. We're just kind of grinding sideways here for the solar ETF. COPX down 1.75%. I know we've had some monster moves here. It's probably going to cool off a little bit and then work its way back up again. Lithium down a little bit. Again, we are sitting on top of the pattern. That is bullish for a move higher, a grind on up. REMX is in the same location. It's ready to move on higher for grinding up. There's your pattern that we've got, a falling wedge, a break to the upside, and then I think eventually we'll work our way higher. S&P 500 holding together. It's holding together. We'll see where we go. I don't see anything horrible here yet. Same with the NASDAQ, not yet. So let's just wait and see what happens. I'm looking for candlesticks, reversal candlesticks. If it is going to reverse, we should see it somewhere. EEM, We had a stronger dollar, stronger yields, down a little bit. That's pretty normal. I still think it's going to grind its way on up to the upside. XHB bucking the trend up a little bit. Again, we're getting a little bit of slowdown in momentum. We could turn a little bit before heading higher. Moo also selling off a little bit, down 0.36%. I still think this looks fine to go higher. Copper down 0.64%. We had 2 monster days. We want to break through this resistance line through there and hopefully get moving. That is a bloody nose. Hopefully we can break through that trend line and move on up. Momentum's to the upside. Iron ore getting a little bit more selling pressure today. Looks like we could head a little bit lower in the short term with this bearish engulfing that showed up today. But overall, guys, I still think we're going to grind higher on the longer, bigger term picture. So even if we do this, let me break again. So you just be patient. Let it take you where it's going to take you. Nickel up a little bit, right on support. We've got aluminum down a hair. It's a bloody nose, continuation pattern to the upside. Still looks good. Baltic Dry Index up a little bit. Still looking good to move higher. Everything looks bullish to me. Newcastle Coal needs a little bit more trampoline jumps over here. A little bit more basing out is what I call it. Bitcoin getting a lot more selling pressure today than what I've seen. This could head lower in the short term with that big selling pressure day today. Kind of getting big selling pressure across the board here, and then Ethereum also getting selling pressure in the short term. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website. Again, we've got birthday. Happy birthday is the discount coupon code. 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time Sunday for the question and answer session that are members. So I'll see you guys there. Bring your questions. And that's what I've got for today, guys. Not much more. Everything kind of looks like we can still go up. We can go down in the very, very short term. But everything still looks okay to work and grind its way on up because we're sitting on top of patterns. So that's what I'm seeing. All right, guys. We'll catch you later. This is Finding Value.